Hello everyone, Shadowlink here, and this video is going to be about general tips for jet combat in realistic battles, specifically for the F86F-2 Sabre. As I take off, I set my angle of attack to 10 degrees with no flaps. This works flawlessly for the F86 Sabre models. I'd suggest not going above 10 degrees to avoid tail striking and destroying your aircraft. To start out, I'm bringing minimum fuel load and air belts. This map is Corson, a cold map, which means you can run 100% throttle without overheating your engine. After takeoff, I watch my surroundings to not crash into any objects, especially other aircraft. I stay low to the ground to gain as much speed as possible. With minimum fuel load, you have good acceleration at low altitude. However, due to this low fuel load, you need to make most of your time, so I tend to rush when I take minimum fuel. I stay straight and I head for the enemy airfield. Now, the Sabre's strengths are its high speed, its decent acceleration, and its fast roll rate. Its weaknesses vary depending on the opponent you're facing. It has worse acceleration at low end speeds compared to the MiG-15 Beast and the MiG-17, as well as worse turn time at those speeds. The G91R models are similar to the MiGs in that they have very good low speed performance and turn times, but are prone to ripping at high speeds. Their top speed on the deck is also inferior to the Sabre. The MiG-15 Bis can also not catch the F-2 Sabre if they are both spaded on the deck. The MiG-17, however, can. The MiG-17s are going to be some of the biggest threats you fight in this jet, given that the BRs are evenly matched. If you fight a 9-3 like a CL-13A or a CL-13B or a Shenyang F5, I won't say you're outmatched, but it's a tough matchup for sure. Now the Swift tries to head on me. He launches a missile at me. I take a quick shot, roll out of the way. Nothing really happens, I suppose. Now, I got the entire enemy team in front of me here. I see a J-29 and go for a quick head-on. Take a couple shots, roll out of the way. Enemy down. Quick burst, quick kill. One less enemy player to deal with. Now, that's one of the major lessons you need to learn about jet combat at this tier, is if you stay tunnel visioned and you commit to head-ons, you're gonna die. You need to take quick shots, get out of the way. I turn around, FJ4B going up into a bit of a stall, and quick burst, he's gone. Now I look around, I see a Shenyang F5 below me. I'm trying to level out, regain a bit of speed, make sure the Shenyang doesn't come up on my tail and start tunnel visioning me. A5 tries to head on. Same deal. Quick burst, get out of the way. Third enemy down. It's rinse and repeat with the Sabre. Go for quick head-ons. Maybe you can get on someone's tail, but you don't commit to head-ons. You overcommit, you're gonna get hit, and you're gonna be in trouble. Now I got an F86 F-40, I think. 50 cals. I shoot a bit late. I honestly get very lucky here. I'm surprised that it didn't actually do any damage to my aircraft. I got a couple holes at the bottom of my Sabre, but no actual damage. Sneak up behind this A5, quick burst, sets on fire, and that should be the end of him. That should be my fourth kill. Go into a dive, regain some speed, looking for maybe another kill here. MiG-15 crashes in the ground. F86A, basically the last guy alive, my whole team's alive. This game is basically a done deal. Now here we're on Korea with the F86F-2, minimum fuel load, air target belts. Korea is one of the most balanced maps in the pool, and it's an old classic. A lot of people truly enjoy this map. So same deal as previous match. Going for 100% throttle, Gonna set my angle of attack to 10 degrees. And take off without any problems. Look around. Hopefully don't crash into anybody. Just like in the previous clips, I am staying low to the ground to get the absolute most out of my jet. Gives me the best acceleration. I am attempting to rush the enemies in what we call Mig Alley, or what it used to be called at least. See a MiG-15 up to my left. He doesn't look like he's going to be a threat. Get two jets in front of me. I'm going to try and pull up into this F86F. He's going to create an odd angle for me to attack, so I pull off. Think about going head on with this G91, but I'm a little slow on the turn, so I just evade a bit. And I just continue on. I keep my energy. I saw something in front of me. It's an IL-28. MiG-17 was chasing, but pulls away. G91 is giving chase. I'm closing in on this IL-28. Apologies a bit about the frame rate issues. Closing on this IL-28, he starts to shoot. Typically, you don't want to jump on the rear of bombers. You know, they have turrets back there, but luckily he stopped shooting to maneuver a bit and gave me a very easy shot and a very easy kill. Now I have 3 jets behind me, one of which is a bomber, another is another F-86, and the other is a G91. I go vertical, just try and store my energy. This F-86 tries to pull into me. I maneuver at the last second to throw off his shot. IL-28, same deal. G91, same deal. Maneuver at the last second, try and throw off the angle at which they're trying to shoot me. If you stay straight, you're probably going to get hit. So when you think they're going to take the shot, which is roughly, most people get confident in their shots about 0.6 miles or 1 kilometer. Some people shoot farther, some people shoot shorter if they think they can get a better shot, but that's typically when you want to throw in some additional maneuver. And I extend away, I retain my energy. F-86 is not too close. He's a mile away. And I go straight back towards my team. Hopefully, you know, someone on my team will help me draw these guys off. Don't ever want to commit to a turn fight unless you know you have superior low speed performance over your opponent. There aren't a whole lot of jets that the F86F can outturn at low speeds. It's rather poor at low speeds. There's a few, like the F86K, that's supremely poor at turning. That's one jet I would say you could probably turn fight against, but never against a MiG, never against G91s, at least not at low speeds. Coming up on this F2, I'm trying to get a little bit closer and try and take a shot. He maneuvers it at the last second, just like I say, and he evades my shot. And that's how it's done. That was brilliant. It's perfect. However, me knowing I'm in a higher energy state, I go vertical to retain that energy, turn that speed into altitude, try and turn over, make sure I'm watching him to make sure he doesn't go vertical and try and catch me off guard. And I go back down, sit on his tail right again. He turns around. He's going to try and make me go straight down into the ground. I have to pull away. I go back up. I pull towards him a bit, but he gets a little bit closer because he went vertical as well, but he runs out of energy. He shoots a couple rounds there, but I'm just too far. I'm too fast. And he's in a full stall basically now. So I turn over, I put the flaps down, raise the flaps, get as much speed as I can. He's full stall. Kind of butcher these shots a bit, but eventually it comes good. And that's basically, you know, energy fighting in a nutshell. If you have an energy advantage, you want to retain it. You don't want to, you know, sit on someone with an air brake unless, you know, you're the last person, they're the last person alive. And you especially don't want to do that to something which has stronger energy performance at those lower speeds, specifically MiGs, G91s, Swift F7s, which have afterburners, those types of aircraft. Go head on with this Vautour. I'm a little bit surprised it didn't hit, but I think I shot a little bit too high, didn't compensate for the bullet drop enough. MiG 17. Couldn't get the shot on. I dodged, what is it? I think another MiG shot earlier. MiG 15's coming after me. I'm low fuel. I'm trying to RTB right now. My team is kind of crumbling. Not a whole lot of us left. Both MiGs pull off. Yeah, team is basically crumbling. I'm going to try and land, hopefully not get strafed by the numerous enemy players who are still on the field. MiG 17 gets a kill. That's fantastic. Venom goes down though. Unfortunate. So this is typically how it's how I approach the airfield. You know, pull the air brake, throttle 0. Usually, you know, you want a little bit more space, but if you turn like this, you'll bleed a good chunk of energy. You put the flaps down as you reach the flap airspeeds. Put the gear down. Easy landing. Now what you want to do when you're sitting on the airfield is you want to leave your flaps down, you want to leave your air brake out, and you want to turn off your engine. By default, that's the I key. I have it bound to a different key, but... And the reason you want to do that is because the flaps, the air brake, and the engine off create more drag than raising the flaps, retracting the air brake, and leaving the engine at idle. So in turn, it allows you to slow down sooner. Now, obviously, you know, if maybe you want to do a touch and go, you know, someone tries to strafe you and you want to take off quick, yeah, you want to throw your flaps up, pull the air brake in, and don't turn off your engine. But, you know, if you're coming to a complete stop, you should do those things. Now, fortunately, no one strafed me as I was on the airfield. I'm starting to take off. This is when you can get strafed, and there's not a whole lot you can do in a Sabre because your low speed performance is just so suboptimal. The aircraft is just extremely heavy. I'm looking around a lot, making sure no one's attempting to strafe me. Just slowly picking up airspeed. Just trying to stay straight, get as much airspeed as I can. And I'm basically good now. 350 knots it's still slow, but this is a decent enough airspeed where you can maneuver. You won't outturn MiGs at this speed. This is like prime area for MiGs, 300 to 400 knots, but it's good enough to the point where I can maneuver. I'm accelerating. The Swift F1, which was my last teammate, goes down, so I'm heading straight for the airfield. Maybe I can catch a couple people. I don't really like to airfield strafe. I think it's cheesy, dirty. I really wish other people felt the same way, but you don't see a whole lot of respect in those terms. But be the bigger person, and maybe you can change the way other people think. The only times I actually strafe people is when, I feel like they've cheesed me earlier in the match, or I know who they are, and they've cheesed me before. That kind of thing. So I'm coming up on this MiG-15 bis. I'm coming in pretty fast. I pull my air brake out. I want to slow down, get as much time on him as I can. Put the air brake back in. He goes for a turn. He's got his air brake out. I get a nice crit. I'm a little sad that didn't, tear his wing off. But, I overshoot. I go up. I try and retain that energy. He's at a low energy state, so I go up, try and retain that energy, and I come back around as I see him pull away. I see this other MiG-15 coming in. I'm going to try and catch this MiG-15, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get him. I have to go for a head-on. A couple shots, pull away. He pulls off a little bit. I can get a little bit extra time on him, and I get a nice crit on him. He should be largely hampered for the rest of the match. The Valtour, I believe it was. Saw him. He wasn't interested in me. I think he's going back to bomb. I want to get this MiG-15, but this other third MiG-15 is coming in. I'm trying to knock these guys out so I can take them on one by one, but so the MiG-15 tries to go for a shot. I maneuver at the last second. MiG-17 coming in. I go in for a last shot. I get a hit. A little disappointing, but it happens. G91 coming in. Completely miss. I extend away. I have an energy advantage almost above all of these guys. MiG-15 crashes. I see a guy destroyed on the airfield. And that, I believe, is my second kill. MiG-15's coming up. I can see his nose is a little bit off. He's probably at low airspeeds. I get a quick shot, slip through the bullets. A little bit lucky there. But ultimately, he should not have stalled there. MiG-17's coming down, G91 back there as well. Now I know the MiG-17 can catch me if he wanted to. G91 is unnecessarily spaced for me, so I get a little bit of time with this MiG-17. Couple shots, get a nice crit. He should be down for the count. Going for the G91, same deal. Takes shots, roll away, miss again. MiG-17 is pulling away. G91 seems to be at an unnecessarily low airspeed. So I go vertical, try and bleed off a bit of that airspeed while retaining my energy advantage. I see him go up. I see him almost stall out, basically. Honestly, I don't think I should have gone vertical here. He was extremely slow. But I pull the flaps, I pull over the top, put the flaps in. He's basically in a full stall here. And the MiG-17 goes down. I'm trying to angle this in a way where the camera isn't going to screw me up, but it's a little difficult. I get a hit on him. Couldn't really make it happen. And I extend away. Now I know he's at an extremely low energy state. You really shouldn't be shooting at like 0.8 miles like that. That's like 1.3 kilometers. The odds of you hitting someone is low if they're maneuvering. It's basically a waste of ammunition. So I have an F86F coming in. This was the guy that was destroyed on the airfield. He's probably just taken off. He's probably low energy state. So I go vertical. And sure enough, I have more energy in the vertical. I pull over the top again, force him back down. Lost sight of the G91. Coming in on this F86F, the G91 reappears. He actually got a couple shots in there, and that actually made me a bit nervous, but maneuver at the last second, shots miss. I pull away and he's still at a less energy state. I'm low fuel, I'm low ammo, so I gotta kind of make something happen here. Valtor's coming in. I have to maneuver, otherwise he's going to be able to hit me, kill me. G91 played it correctly. Maneuvered, and the Valtor goes into the ground. Probably compressed a bit. It's going too fast to maneuver for that speed, and a large mistake on his part. So I'm playing with my energy. I'm going into verticals, trying to retain that energy as altitude and speed. And I'm just trying to get a clear shot on this G91 with my last 20 rounds. Here it comes. And just completely miss it. So I'm out of ammo. I'm almost out of fuel. I got an RTB. He gets a couple last shots in. I'm afraid he's going to try and chase me. See this MiG-15 BIS is engaging AAA. It's probably like the armored cars around the map. So I know he's somewhere. I'm lowering my throttle currently in order to conserve fuel. The fuel timer for most aircraft is a time based that you're at 100% throttle. So with less throttle, you're consuming less fuel. Unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to be a whole lot of time anyways. I'm gaining some altitude so I can glide back. You always want to try and get some altitude and glide back if you're really short on fuel. You can glide a lot farther with more altitude as opposed to just sitting at low altitude and getting as much speed as possible. And I have the altitude. As you can see, my speed is increasing even though my angle is on par with the airfield. However, an order pops up so they can see where I'm at. So I'm a little nervous I'm going to get strafed here. But I'll do what I can. See if I can maybe land. See this MiG-15 coming up behind me. He's going to try and get me while I'm low on fuel. My engine is currently off, which is why my fuel counter isn't dropping. I get a little bit of airspeed so I can maneuver. 350 knots is plenty. He's coming in 0.5 miles. I flip over because I know MiGs can't roll very well, so I can just pull my elevator that way. And it's very easy to pull away from a MiG if you abuse this roll rate. Stick near the AA. Hopefully he pulls away. Hoping he doesn't go for another pass. And it looks like he's actually returning to base. And that G91 pops up. So I assume he's relatively new off the airfield. So he's probably in a less energy state than I am. He actually clips me pretty good there. I honestly forgot I loaded stealth belts, so I was looking for my tracers and I couldn't see him. And unfortunately, I missed him completely. Well, he got me pretty good. However, my higher energy state allowed me to go vertical and pull up while he ran out of energy. And that allowed me to get the kill on him. So I head straight for the airfield. The tick counter's getting low. I gotta either kill this guy quick or I'm gonna lose. So I see him. He's just coming off the airfield now. I have a vast energy advantage over him. And I'm hoping I can go for the kill and the match ends. Little unfortunate, almost clutched it out. It wasn't a guaranteed win, but with that energy state, it would have been very heavily one-sided. So I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of the jet tips and tutorials, and I hope to see you guys next time.